somewhere, so they find themselves going to the bathroom all the time. And that's one reason why it can happen. In other people, it's because they're drinking a lot of fluids after 6 o'clock and they don't really realize it. So that's why it's important for avoiding diary. Sometimes if you write down all of the fluids that you drink during the day, you don't really realize how much you're taking. And again, diuretics, most of the time physicians write these first thing in the morning so that you can get rid of most of the fluids in the morning. But sometimes if you give them even more diuretics in the morning, it can help get rid of some of that excess fluid so that when they lie down at night, they get more relief. And again, this is just a picture, a cross-section of the bladder. If you're trying to figure out how prolapse happens, if you can remember that pelvic floor that we have here that we can only see parts of, if the pelvic floor is not as strong as it used to be, you can imagine that the bladder will start to kind of creep down and the rectum will start to creep down and kind of drop down. And that can cause problems for the bladder being out of position, and the bladder can't empty like it used to. It can cause kinking of the ureters, or these little tubes that go back up to the kidneys, and so your kidneys can actually get damaged in the long run. But you just have to be followed when you have symptoms of prolapse. You don't necessarily have to have anything done. You just have to be followed and make sure that your kidneys are being taken care of well. Make sure that you're not having too many symptoms of the bladder dropping down. And but anyway, so there are definitely all kinds of options available for you. And I hope we didn't run over too long.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Join the panel. Thank you very much, Dr. Barnes. We're going to have people ask the panel some questions. Anybody who has some and is not embarrassed to stand up and ask them, that's fine. Otherwise, do we have cards that we've passed out for people to write down questions? If they don't want to get up, we'll pick those up from you. Anybody want to start off?
Okay. What about, I have an overly large uterus that is pushing my bladder. I had someone wanted to give me a hysterectomy. I was told I should have a surgery where you had to be abdominal surgery, which is pretty graphic to me after when they told me what it was, but I've been told there's nothing I can do in regards to the eagles and all that. I've had all those tests, all the everything, and it's inside. I'm being pushed down, so the slinging up is basically what I've been told I have to do. Now, I only was told about the incision kind of surgery, and I'm real interested in the other things, but how you get the tissue. I thought you were going to get the tissue from your stomach by doing that incision. Can you do the vaginal sling without doing the incision?
There are a bunch of questions within that question. No, that's okay.
It's good. It'll answer a number of different questions people might have.
Basically, the enlarged uterus can be causing several different problems, and it depends on what's happening with you. And I think in order to help sort that out, you would have to have some urodynamics done. And you had all that done. And something that I would use to help me as well is something called video urodynamics, and that's where you take an x-ray machine and actually x-ray at the same time so that you can see exactly what's happening. Because I've had a woman who had a very large uterus, and her uterus was pushing up on her bladder neck and was obstructing the flow of urine. Well, that's different than if you had someone who, anyway, I just lost my train of thought. But anyway. Could you help me out
Let me
here?
try. Well, I mean, as far as gynecologically, fibroid uterus or enlarged.
I had fibroids, but they're like teeth.
Okay.
That's not the problem.
You just have an enlarged uterus to begin with.
I had big babies. I've had 3 babies. 9 pounds and over. So I know that was probably something.
I mean, what I was going to say is actually fibroid uteruses, which continue to enlarge the uterus in premenopausal women who have hormones still going. It would be a very difficult issue for you to just have bladder surgery or a sling to try to solve this issue. But if it's not a fibroid uterus, I mean, you have small fibroids that, again, will continue probably to grow until you do get to menopause when your hormones are decreasing.
So I'm
Well, I mean, obviously it depends on how significant your problem is and what evaluation you've had done. Again, it depends on how big the uterus is. Is it, you know, abnormally enlarged? There are some medications. I'm not sure if any